All right, everybody, how are you doing tonight? We got another episode of the awe-inspiring Whitetail Wednesday. I know it's something everyone looks forward to every week. We get like 30 or 40 views, so for you guys that are tuning in, you guys got brownie points in my book. But anyway, tonight's topic is whitetail scouting, specifically to Wisconsin, and how to be efficient when you're scouting Wisconsin. So the way I scout Wisconsin obviously starts in the postseason after the season, I should say, sorry. And I get into the marshes first. Reason being, they freeze over unless you find a hot spot here or there. Just a quick definition of a hot spot: it's an area where decomposing matter is creating heat in the water and the water's doesn't get cold enough to freeze over. But other than that, if you avoid those hot spots, you got smooth sailing to move throughout the marsh quickly and efficiently. So what am I looking for in a marsh? Looking for big buck sign, because that's what I like to target. Not saying you have to hunt big bucks, but that's just kind of my goals at this point in my hunting life. Somebody who's just trying to get deer, it's a good way to just identify that there's deer in the marsh. Just thinking of the instance from this weekend, Bud and I put 10 miles in a marsh, and we didn't find a lot of deer sign. So we found one good spot on 10 miles on the boots. So not each marsh is created equal. So I'm just looking for big buck sign. If I identify that there's a lot of big buck sign, then I pay a little bit more attention to what's going on in that marsh. I try and find every secret hideout that buck has. Sometimes it's next to the parking lot, sometimes it's 10 miles back. Okay, not 10 miles, like a mile and a half, 2. So and that time frame is from December to March, April, depending on where you're at. And most of my focus is on the eastern side of the state: east central, south, southeastern, east central, and northeastern Wisconsin. That just seems where we have the most amount of marsh. Yeah, there's some other scattered marshes throughout the state, but I'm really targeting that part of the state during the winter time period. So after we start getting some snow melt, I like to get into the hills of southwestern Wisconsin. Reason being is I've learned over the years, when those hills get snowy, icy, slippery, get a little sketchy, especially the steep ones. And I'm, like I said, targeting mature bucks. That's where the big bucks tend to be, is on those steep hillsides where they can look in the valley below when they're bedding off the points. So that's why I like scouting that kind of March to like May time period, because you can just book it up those hills and down the hills and all that type of thing, because there's no snow. So that's when I am efficient in the hills. That's kind of the time period I do that. So big woods, northern Wisconsin. How to be efficient up there. I've learned that a lot of swamps and kind of I think Zeb calls them green marshes, where it's not so much cattails, so we'll just go with that term. Because I haven't come up with a term for those marshes up in the Northwoods. So that's a little bit different than eastern Wisconsin, because it stays colder up there longer. So I'm looking at getting up there April and scouting those throughout May. The snow gets really deep up there. There's a lot of ice. So that just stays frozen up there the longest. So that's when I'm attacking the big northwoods of northern Wisconsin. And basically, I'm looking for any deer sign, I'm looking for 2-year-olds up there. So my goals kind of shift in northern Wisconsin, and I'm just trying to look for any deer up there. And when it comes to river bottoms, I just basically scout that whenever it's not flooded. That's how I be efficient in those areas. I don't know, hopefully this little rant helps you with your scouting efficiency in Wisconsin. So if I were to place it, March is eastern Wisconsin, February, or December through like March. Then we go to the hills, it's like March through like till it's fully green, so end of May. That's when I attack that. Then northern Wisconsin, I'm like April to like end of May is when I've had experience up there. It seems to be the best time to scout up there because it seems like it takes a lot longer for stuff to thaw out there. So I don't know. Hopefully this helps you guys. Is more of me just spilling my guts when it comes to being efficient and scouting. Appreciate you guys watching this video, and